Brian Burres. I played here in Mount Hood in 2000-2001 as part of the 2000 championship team, and I went on from there to play professional baseball for 16 years, parts of 6 in the big leagues with the Orioles, Blue Jays, and Pirates. Honestly, when I was like 5 or 6, I had a bunch of friends playing. My parents weren't baseball players or baseball fans really at all, and I just did it because my friends were doing it, and as soon as I started playing, it became my favorite sport, and it was just kind of what I went with from there. It was one place where I always enjoyed myself, even as like a kid growing up, or when I got older. If I was, like, say I'm 26 and I'm pitching in wherever, USA, you know, if you're having a bad day, you get to the baseball field and I would immediately start having a good day. It's just that kind of thing for me. It was quite a bit like a family. We would be, we had a lot of classes together. Just, you have the schedule to make your classes fit into your practice schedule. So we ended up having a lot of classes together, and then we'd practice. You spend a lot of time here as a baseball player on this field / on the road, and then we'd hang out after a lot. It was a really tight-knit group, and it was about as good as it gets. It's something we'd worked on, like that was what we had worked for all year, and to have it come to fruition, especially we had kind of a rocky start to that season, and then just kind of melded, and we were really good for the second half of the season and into the playoffs. And to have it culminate with the championship was about as good as you can, especially at 19, about as good as you can feel. I was really surprised at the end of that year when I was drafted. My numbers were good, don't get me wrong, but like I said, I didn't look at myself as one of the top pitchers on the team. Yeah, there's some times, this is probably true for most teams, where you have 1 or 2 stress points where it's a make it or break it, and how the coaches can deal with whatever happens. I would say that there was some times during that year, and I would say it's pretty much with every team every year, you'll have a couple different points in the season where it's a make it or break it with how the coaches handle those stress points. And each time they'd push the right buttons, and they were a very integral part of us winning that championship. So I was drafted out of here by the Giants, and it was pure surprise. I got a phone call from a friend. I wasn't even paying attention to the draft that day. It was the second day of the draft, and I was just sleeping in like a teenager would, and got a call from a buddy, and my first initial reaction was, I was like, quit lying to me, why are you waking me up, you know, like one of those type of things. And then after I found out he was telling the truth, really excited. And then fast forward to 2006 when I actually made my first major league debut with Baltimore. At the end of the year in AAA, I was supposed to pitch that day, and my manager calls me in and says, hey, you're looking tired, you're not going to pitch today. And so I give him kind of like some harsh words, because it's the last day of the year. Who cares if I'm tired? I didn't know I was getting called up. I wasn't pitching because I was going to fly to Baltimore later that night. One of the best moments of my life. So if you can have a good attitude and a good work ethic, because those are really the 2 things that you can always control, is your attitude and your effort. If you can control those 2 things to the best of your ability and just always be positive and always put in the work, it'll go a long way. Well, my first team was in the minor leagues. Salem Kaiser was actually my first professional team. It was a Giants farm team, and it was great because I won the championship here in 2000, and then I went there in 2001, and we won a championship. So at that time in my life, I'm 20 years old, and I think winning's really easy, and I got taught the hard way that it's not. Well, I played for quite a while, and I would still say it was just too short. It was a great time. Would have liked to have it be a little bit better career, and I'm sure a lot of people in my situation might say that or might not, but all positive. I can't think of anything negative to say about my career. It was great for me. I'd say overall my play was rocky, to put it lightly, but my experience was great. I met a lot of lifelong friends, a lot of great guys, and learned a lot, not just in baseball but life lessons through my time there.